Take it easy, but you guys kept knocking, kept asking questions. So how did you feel about the performance overall?
Well, very happy to win here. It's a really difficult place to come. I think that is very organized. By the way, I take the opportunity to say what a beautiful stadium they built. I had chills with the atmosphere, with the beauty of it. So congratulations. And in the first half we had some moments that we were very dominant without really creating much. We scored the goal. And in the second half we had 2 or 3 big open chances that if you want to be more relaxed at the end, you should score in the Premier League.
Yeah, on these big chances, is it about being more relaxed then ultimately? Because why couldn't you put the game to bed? You had a ball in the post.
Two,
yes.
One Leo, one Zubimendi, Bukayo is totally free inside the box. He's got time. He decides to shoot and the ball gets cleared just on the line. So that's those moments that you have to be more clinical to have bigger margins.
The penalty, you had that moment. You have a few options of good penalty takers, and you have the moment of Odegaard holding the ball and then giving the ball to Gyökeres. Do you think he sensed that Gyökeres could really benefit from a goal tonight?
Yes, that's what I hope, and they have to take ownership on the pitch, and they made a decision that Victory was the best taker. He scored, so what a great decision.
There was some nervous energy around the Wolves' performance, but tonight it didn't feel like that at all. So how much did you enjoy the way that they managed the game emotionally?
Yes, very important. I mean, you need to enjoy the process of winning, and it's going to be a hard moment, difficult moment, a great moment. That's all part of that intention and how close we are to winning, and that's what we have to enjoy and take it game by game.
I know you usually say that the Premier League is like that. Teams play before other teams and that just happens. But there is a positive to managing this situation tonight of City being top of the league and then Arsenal playing afterwards.
Yes, but we are not looking at that. I know you guys do, but from the first day, the only thing we can control is our own performances and results. And we know how long it's going to be, how tough is this league, and that's it. Enjoy every day, do your best, and let's see where we get.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Interesting on the penalty. I think a lot of people might have assumed that a head coach who likes to control every little tiny detail would have made decisions before the game about who his number one penalty taker would be for each game when that moment arises. But the suggestion there from Arteta that it's the players who are making that call.
Players taking ownership. Nice to hear that. I always thought the manager, or certainly before the game, you have all the details. You have who's marking who from set pieces, how you're going to set up, who's on penalties. But the players feel maybe with Gyökeres, he needs a little bit of love and a big opportunity. Not a sympathy penalty, because he obviously, as Daniel said, only can take penalties very well. But when you have Saka, Odegaard or Gyökeres taking them, some clubs haven't even got players that want to take penalties. So the fact they've got 3 that want to, that is a real luxury.
Absolutely. And just a word on the fact that he does celebrate a milestone match today, and what a manager he's been over the 6 years.
Unbelievable. What he's done, what he's turned Arsenal into, what he had when he got there, what he had to change in that dressing room. Owners, there was a lot of noise with the owners. Everything's changed now on his head, and he's got the team he wanted, and they're challenging for the 4th year running now.
It was turbulent at the start, but he's managed to pull things round.
Well, 6 years of doing a really good job, but the one thing that Arsenal fans want is that league title. So he hasn't completed the job yet. It might be this season. It's looking that way.
It is.
And you can see they can make headway into that top half pretty soon as well. Brighton moving a place up to 9th, Sunderland up to 6th with their point today. Liverpool now level on points with Chelsea in 5th place. And Arsenal are restored as the leaders after Manchester City went top earlier. It's Arsenal back out in front. They are the Christmas number 1.
I like that. Is there enough space? And deserved, right? Man of the match for him.
Well, yeah, you could say that probably, because Saka's always involved in a lot of things that's happening with Arsenal. But, yeah, it wasn't one of his blistering, unbelievable performances, but yeah, he done what he needed to do today and spoke very well. You can see that everybody's very composed, very calm about what's happening. No one's getting too excited about being at the top of the league now. They know, like he said, if they carry on doing what they're doing and winning games, they can stay there. It's in their hands. So the main thing is that they're all on the right page in respect of what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and Righty just used the word composed. They are very composed, very calm, not getting too excited or happy about the win. They looked quite sort of calm in that interview.
They did, yeah. I mean, they've been in this situation before, haven't they, where they've been in and around the top for a long period of time. In previous seasons, they've dropped points late on, and that's when the questions are going to, not around Christmas. The questions are going to come around March, April, May.
Exactly.
And that's can you hang on to a 2-point lead then when Man City win just before you?
Yeah.
And then that's when the pressure is. At the moment, of course, there's pressure. They want to keep that advantage, but as I say, they've done this before. They've done this before for a few years. It's the last little bit. It's the hardest little bit. And but they do feel like and look like they're in a better position now than they ever have been. It's a strong squad, and they were, despite it only being 1-0, they just felt like they were in control for the majority of the game.
The thing is, Mike, it's just in those games, you just want to try and win games a little bit more comfortably so as you can feel it, because there does seem to be times in games, and I've watched the last four or five Arsenal games, where there's moments where they look vulnerable, and it's something that I feel that they should be taking more control. They should be managing the game better in the way that they're trying to play out. Maybe, I don't know, even with the subs, so as people can maybe start running the ball into areas, keeping the ball in that final third to waste time, not trying to pass it around the back, and be a little bit more progressive with what we're trying to do to score more goals. Because I didn't feel like we were we should have been more of a goal threat today to put that Everton side away, make it a little bit more comfortable. But in the end, the 3 points is what's important, and we got them again. That is the main thing.
Yeah.
Massive player. Mikel Arteta praises Declan Rice after unbelievable performance in Arsenal win versus Everton. Arsenal reclaimed their top spot in the Premier League following a 1-0 win over Everton at the Hill Dickinson Stadium on Saturday. The Gunners shared the spoils against the Toffees in both meetings last season, but sealed a victory from the penalty spot yesterday. Victor Gyökeres converted the spot kick awarded after Jake O'Brien's handball. The Gunners should have doubled their advantage. Both Leandro Trossard and Martin Zubimendi hit the woodwork during the second half. Bukayo Saka was denied a goal by a brilliant goal line clearance by James Tarkowski. Arsenal were lucky to secure a 1-0 win in the end, as William Saliba got away with a foul on Thierno Bari in the box before the hour mark. Speaking after the game, manager Mikel Arteta hailed the performance of midfielder Declan Rice, who made 20 defensive contributions. The Spanish tactician said that the 26-year-old was unbelievable, and he's a massive player for the club. He told Arsenal.com, "Unbelievable. His all-round play, his leadership on the pitch, the amount of balls that he regained as well that allowed us to run. He's been incredibly consistent this year again, and what a massive player for us he is." Bukayo Saka was handed the official man of the match by the broadcasters, but we believe Rice was the best player on the pitch against the Toffees on the road. The midfielder won 7 duels, including 100% of his aerials. He also made 10 recoveries, 4 clearances, 3 interceptions, and won a couple of tackles. He was also exceptional with his distribution, completing 90% of his passes, 87 out of 97. The Englishman provided the corner, which contributed to the penalty, but he should have had an assist as well. Trossard unfortunately hit the post with a curling effort. Rice is currently enjoying the best phase of his career and needs to sustain his run of form as the Gunners look to maintain and increase their slender 2-point lead at the top of the table. Arsenal will be in Carabao Cup quarter-final action against Crystal Palace at home on Tuesday night. Arteta is expected to make wholesale changes, and Rice could start on the bench. David Moyes hails Arsenal star as best in the world after Everton defeat. David Moyes hailed Declan Rice as probably the best midfielder in the world after Arsenal's 1-0 win over Everton on Saturday night. Victor Gyökeres' first-half penalty sealed the win for Mikel Arteta's side, who have restored their 2-point lead over Manchester City at the top of the Premier League. Rice, meanwhile, delivered another impressive performance at the heart of Arsenal's midfield, and Moyes, who managed the 26-year-old at West Ham, credited Arteta for developing his former captain. I thought Tim Iroegbunam played really well. He was up against probably the best midfield player in the world in some ways, and he did a really good job. He stuck to it. We wanted him to do a lot of other things. We wanted him to pass forward more. We wanted him to be a bit more creative in his play at times, but the other side of his game he did really well. By the way, the players, it was not anything to do with lack of effort. They were fantastic the way they went about the job, even more so in the second half when we had to chase it harder and find a way. It meant we were opening up a bit more. We just couldn't get a scrappy goal or someone scoring a World Cup Willie goal. We just could not get one of them. Speaking further on Rice, Moyes added, "Look, Declan developed himself. It's not down to me. Declan was always going to be a great player. Mikel has made him into a real top player, but he's a great boy more than anything. He's a terrific boy. And because of that, it'll give him a great chance, a great player as well, lots of top attributes." Arteta was also full of praise for Rice's performance against Everton. "Unbelievable," Arteta said. His all-round play, his leadership on the pitch, the amount of balls that he regained as well that allowed us to run, he's been incredibly consistent this year again, and what a massive player for us he is.